Hey guys, welcome back to Star Flag Media Gaming. I gotta talk about this because it's bananas. Microsoft has killed the best deal in gaming. I've said it, I don't know, for years now, right? In 2017, Game Pass came out. Without a doubt, the best deal in gaming. It was raised throughout the years, as you expected. Most subscription services and inflation cost, things do tend to go up in price over a period of time. That's not a problem that we're having. However, there is kind of a threshold where you kind of have to wonder, where is the value of what you're getting. And I believe when they raised it just last year, I think it went from 17.99 Game Pass Ultimate, which is the best version of Game Pass, went from 17.99 to $20 a month. In my opinion, 20 was still an acceptable form, because if you buy 2, 3, 4 games a year, at 70 to 80 bucks, $240 a year, plus you get the entire library of Xbox Game Pass games and including a lot of day one games, it was still a fantastic deal. Well, Microsoft has decided that they want to kill their business strategy. Why? Because I believe that they have reached a threshold, a point where they think they've grown enough to where they are allowed to lose a percentage of their audience, and kind of gauged how many people would actually stay at the new price. For those of you who haven't heard, the prices went up 50%. So from $20 up to $30 for Game Pass Ultimate. Mind you, there are lower tiers, but they're hardly worth anything other than like multiplayer online and things like that. So Microsoft raises the Xbox console prices twice this year, and now they're raising Game Pass. So it really gives you zero reasons to own an Xbox product anymore, especially a console, right? Because at $299, the Xbox Series S, hell of a deal in my opinion. Hell, I mean, you know, the Switch 2 is $449, and achieving Xbox Series S, and sometimes a little bit better graphics than that, but it was, you know, twice the cost. But now the Xbox Series S is what, $379, almost $400. So with the Switch 2, you get the advantage of also being portable, and it takes away from even having a Series S. Before, you can get a Series S for $299, a digital console, and you can get Game Pass for about $15, even at $17.99 a month, and have the entire access, not really taking up any space in your hard drive. But Microsoft has really gone out of its way to kind of just they are kind of sabotaging their own Xbox gaming business. They're turning it, like I said, and I've said this before, but more and more into just a platform. They really are abandoning everything of their original fan base. So what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. A lot of people have been showing off that they're canceling their subscriptions, and in fact, the cancellation page seemed to have a lot of issues today. You know, it was crashing for a lot of people. They couldn't even cancel because it was crashing from the amount of people, the backlash that we've had online. But we just got to kind of look back at it a little bit. You know, it's not just what they're doing to their console side of things, but if their plan initially was to kind of get this Netflix type service going, I think they reached the threshold where they grew to a point where it wasn't growing significantly faster anymore, and now they're just like, well, we're going to raise the prices on those who do stay. So even if they say lose 25% of the audience, and they raise their prices by 50%, it not only doesn't balance out, they actually make more money with less players on their servers. Now, if you watch this channel and you've seen me and Chris on here over the years, the last year and a half at least, you know that we keep saying one thing, is that they're a business and they're not here for you. But more than ever, if you are an Xbox fanboy, you cannot, in good respect, defend this decision. You can, and it's a double-edged sword, because again, at the end of the day, they are a company, right? Having these games, having these shareholders, all of that is not a cheap business. Having all those servers is not cheap. I get that part of it, but their customer acquisition phase is still important enough where I would think that it's, if they continue to add value to that, that you would entice other players from PC to Nintendo to PlayStation to jump over. I mean, hell, you know, I've done it a couple of times when I wanted to play Starfield. I played it on Game Pass because I didn't want to pay $70 for the game, and it was a great deal, $20. I played a Game Pass for a month. I beat the game, and I got to play other games on the service. Now, this might still be a good deal in that way. So let's say you're a person who buys more than 5 games a year. Then you're still in that range where Game Pass is kind of still a good deal. If you know, you don't mind not keeping your game, because remember, if you don't pay for your subscription, you do lose Game Pass. I mean, there goes all the games you played. I mean, you can't play them, you can't access them. It is a subscription service. So with that aspect in mind, then in my opinion, it has to remain affordable in order for it to be enticing for me personally. I'm one of those gamers that normally don't buy more than 4 or 5 games a year. So I'm already at the point where the value is no longer there for me, unless I get one game from Xbox that I really, really want to play, and I know it's not coming over to Switch 2, and I know it's not coming over to PC or Steam, right? And then maybe I would shell over the $30 to play the game for a month and beat the game, because in a month's time you would have enough time to beat the game, and then you know, access the other library. In that case, still a good deal. But let's face it, Microsoft has abandoned exclusivity. They're not an exclusive company anymore. They putting their stuff on everything. So then my question for all you Xbox people out there is, what's the point? What's the point? If they're no longer exclusive, then I mean, great, day one, but if you stop paying for your service, you lose those games. Now we're talking about $360 a year for Game Pass. And if you don't own a PC that's, you know, capable or good enough to run smoothly, you know, the service, or if you don't have the internet service that would run that service smoothly, and you're stuck on, let's say, an Xbox, or you want to buy an Xbox now, well, okay, well, it's a Series X is damn near $800, and the Series S is $400, plus another $360 for Game Pass. It's listen, for all the crap I talk about Sony raising their prices and for Nintendo raising the OG Switch price, this is a debacle in my opinion. The backlash from Microsoft right now is something that they frankly cannot afford, because they're not just in third place. They're in way last place. Way. Why don't you come on over here and have a last place? It's not even close. The PlayStation 5 is so far ahead. The Switch, the OG Switch, is so far ahead of anything that the Xbox Series sold. And now even the Switch 2 is so far ahead in only a few months. They're so behind. They're losing the goodwill that they had of the only people that they had left, which was their die-hard fan base. I don't know, guys. You know, they're running their ads. They tried to do the spin on it. Everything's an Xbox, but how is everything going to be an Xbox if I don't pay $30 a month so that my LG TV is an Xbox? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Normally, I would have saved this type of video for a Friday, but all this dropped today, and I said, you know what? Let me just put this out there while I can. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here. Leave a like, comment, please comment below. Let me know what you guys think. It's more important than anything to help the channel grow engagement. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hopefully I've earned your subscription, and you click that subscribe and notification button. So I always want to thank you all for joining me here at Starflag Media Gaming, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.